Oh my God!
This is Kenny. Tell us what this is for the camera.
Kenny,
what is this?
Yeah.
All right.
Who are you first?
I am the commissioner, Ken Munson from Cincinnati, Ohio.
And you were hand selected by the Rocket to be the official.
Yes, I was. I had applied for credentials, and I did have an assignment letter from World Tennis Magazine, and I had one from ESPN. But they still said they're not sure.
ESPN on the hat.
They're not sure that that would still work. So I sent a text to Rocket, and I said, if I'm stepping out of bounds, let me know. But I said, if you could put in a good word, I'd really love it. So the next thing you know, my wife says to me, are you expecting a letter from Rod Laver? And I said, no. She said, well, there's one right here. And so I opened it up, and it was a handwritten letter on his personal stationery requesting that I be his personal photographer at the Laver Cup. So I emailed it to the media director in Australia, and she said, I think we're not going to have a problem with your approval. I put together a 54-page booklet of the whole Laver Cup.
And now we're going to flip through every page.
Flip through every page there if you want. This court here, they built in the parking lot as a practice court, indoor practice court, just for this event. Every stairway in the United Center, they wrote Laver Cup on. Photo credit here was Fred Stolle with his iPhone. He was in a better position than I was. You know, they had a big rally down at Millennium Park, and it was very, very impressive. This was Rocket down at Marshall Fields on State Street signing his book. And there was a line all the way out the door. That was at the Black Tie Gala. This was on the practice court. It was a closed session for Djokovic, and Fred and I and Rocket went down there to talk with Bjorn Borg and just talk with the guys down on the court. So I felt pretty good that I was the only photographer down there. So
wow, McEnroe really loves it.
Yeah, he did. Johnny Mac was like a little kid in front of Rocket. He was his hero.
Yeah, you can see it on that last page. Look at this face Mac's got.
Yeah, you could just see he was thrilled.
That's true love.
Totally thrilled. Because he said, take a picture of me and my hero. This was from the 7th floor, the media room at the United Center. And they typically play, the Chicago Bulls play there and the Blackhawks play there. So it holds 25,700 or something. But they set a new attendance record for a single sporting event over the weekend of 93,476 people. Here are some of the banners they had all over town. Here were the balls that they used. They had special Laver Cup balls. These seats over here were $7,500 a piece, and there's Rocket sitting there, and if you look behind him, you'll see Fred. And Mary Jo Fernandez is there, and you've got Katrina Adams and a few other people there. This photo here was right after Djokovic hit Federer in the back. And it was obvious Novak hasn't played a lot of doubles. I'm not going to see this too often. That's Roger and Novak playing doubles together, and both very emotional about winning a point.
That's a beautiful picture of Federer.
Yeah.
Especially that one.
Even when he's off balance, he's on balance.
Exactly right. I mean, when I take shots of these guys, Novak is like Gumby. He's all over the place. Roger's like a ballerina. If you take a look at shots that I did of him in 2002, they are the same today as they were then. There is no change in the pictures. Here's two examples of...
That's Gumby.
There's Gumby, and here's the ballerina.
Beautiful, Kenny.
So here's Rocket getting a little emotional. I took that from the other side of the court. They were talking about his career.
As you're doing this, I'm getting emotional. Anyway, tell us about that.
They talked about his career. They talked about his Grand Slams. They talked about doing everything for tennis. And Roger was saying, this, everybody calls me the GOAT. This is the GOAT right here. 2 Grand Slams, 62, 69. And then he talked a little bit about Mary, his wife, who had passed and he was getting a little emotional there. So, anyways, wonderful man. Just some shots of the players there, action shots of them. This is kind of a cool shot. Sock and Kyrgios were like cheerleaders over there.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is very interesting where he starts his forehand. Take a look at that compared to conventional forehands, the way you teach them.
Yeah.
It's a big wind-up.
This is about as emotional as you'll ever see Bjorn Borg.
Jack Sock really loved this event, huh?
He went crazy. He wore a Chicago Bulls and a Chicago Blackhawk jersey every night. And this shot was courtesy of Getty Images. They had a drone there, so they were nice enough to give that to me.
How do you think Novak and Roger like playing on the same team and being
They absolutely loved it. I talked to both of them. And the one thing that they said, here, look at Roger getting emotional. Roger said to me personally, I was talking to him after the match with Tony Gossick, his agent, and he said, this is kind of new for us from Europe. We didn't grow up playing Little League or basketball teams, you know, or football teams, so we're not team sport kind of people. And even though soccer is like a, you know, a team sport, it's not the cheerleading. You don't have cheerleaders on the side and people doing the wave and things like that. And he says, we're just getting used to it. We're also not used to sharing personal information with our opponents that we normally play with. So Roger said, somebody there came up and said, I think you better take me out. My ankle is tender. And on the tour, you would never let your opponent know that.
Right.
But as a teammate, you want to win as a team, so you want whoever is 100% physical. And he said the other thing is it's the first time he and Novak have ever really spent quality time together at the hotel, at events and everything, and we really became close friends. And it was really nice.
That's so nice to hear.
It's really funny because Borg and McEnroe, their coaching style is exactly like their playing style. Borg is calm as a cucumber, and McEnroe was walking up and down the sidelines. He was in people's faces.
Yeah, remember
you know?
he went after the umpire.
Well, there he is after the umpire.
There we go.
And then what does Rocket have to say about that? The toughest thing or the roughest thing I've ever said to an umpire is, "Are you sure?"
Nice.
So,
McEnroe starts out with that, and then he goes a little deeper.
yeah, right. Just a few more action shots of the guys, but you know, it was a wonderful event.
The time when you're most vulnerable is when you're ahead. Never let up.
It happened to me today. So
You lost your match?
yeah,
Second place.
I broke them twice. Yeah. So, anyways, it was a very emotional thing for everybody, and Team Europe got into it. The team spirit, which was really nice to see. The most amazing thing about this event, besides being teams, and it's not like Davis Cup because that's a national pride. This is a different kind of pride of guys that you play against all year long, and you come together as a team to succeed. And they really rallied and had a great time. People who said it was an exhibition, they are totally wrong. John Isner said, if I ever get that question again, it makes me so mad. Isner was diving for balls. He had blood on his legs. These guys said they played as hard for this as they would at a Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So, but as you can see, they had a great time celebrating. I was fearing for Rocket's life a little bit. He's so small compared to all today's players. So,
Great picture.
yeah. So,
And you are just a master at this, Kenny.
well, I had a good time, and it's really been a second career for me. I retired 8 years ago from owning my own chemical company to now being a professional sports photographer.
You're an artist.
So it helps to have an eye. You know, that's kind of a neat shot there. And then I went out to the Shed Aquarium to show the magnificence of the city of Tall Shoulders. You know, but I think the best part of the book for me
Yeah.
is right here. That's
To your help
just,
at Laver Cup, your friend Rod Laver. Wow.
and that was my testimony to him for getting me involved with the event.
Allow me to capture these memories for you in this photo book. It was an amazing event in honor of an amazing man. Good on you, mate. Great stuff.
So there's only 2 of these. You're